Hi there, welcome to my presentation. Today I'm going to talk about threat hunting, and topic of my presentation is, and again, adversary knows your new password. Does it sound interesting to you? Well, let's begin. Here is the agenda of this presentation. In the following topics we will see about me, who is this presentation for, when to kickstart threat hunting, understand what is persistence, who are the different threat groups or hacker groups using this tactic persistence, and finally we will see outcome of threat hunting persistence artifacts. Alright, who am I? I am Arvind Javali. I have 12 years of experience in advisory and implementation of information security technologies, including incident response, forensics, threat hunting, EDR, SIM, vulnerability management, email and web gateway, security testing and risk assessment. And also I've got experience in comprehensive management and technical experience in building and large-scale security operations center. I'm also GIAC certified CCFA, currently working as cybersecurity expert responder. You can connect me on LinkedIn, Twitter, YouTube, and you can drop me an email. Okay, if you ask me who are my target audience or who would likely benefit from this presentation, then my answer is mostly these streams are from cybersecurity, like if you are a SOC analyst, network penetration tester, threat hunters, cybersecurity product managers, cyber sales teams. Also, it may be helpful for data science engineers who wanting to understand cybersecurity domain and HR recruitment professionals in screening the right cyber candidates. Not just limiting to above professionals, but also if you are really passionate about cybersecurity and want to learn threat hunting, yes, this presentation is for you. When to kickstart threat hunting? Most of you might be thinking, when will we do threat hunting and how does a threat hunting look like? Before we conclude with the answer or the solution, let us analyze few of the scenarios where we have seen in our daily life done by physical security professionals such as police or military. Here I would like to present three different scenarios. Recently, officials made an announcement that Victoria residents could expect to see hundreds and hundreds public health workers, including Australian Defence Force medics, being brought into the state to boost capacity, who will door knock, inviting residents to come and get a free test, whether they be symptomatic or asymptomatic. Officials are bringing these task force because they identified suburbs where people are infected with COVID-19, right? That's one. So they identified there is some region are compromised. The next one, sniffer dogs. Sniffer dogs are well known for their ability to detect restricted goods such as drugs and explosive. So we suspect illegal goods getting transported at the international airports, right? So suspicion, you have a suspicion and you do the threat hunting. Next, taking illegal drugs before driving puts you at greater risk or injuring or killing yourself, your friends or other innocent people. So to prevent this, what officials can do, they do periodic random mobile drug tests, right? So it's periodic. In all these scenarios, there is one thing in common. Can you guess? You can take a moment. Can you? Alright. So it is proactiveness. So in all these scenarios, we find threat hunting was performed proactively. I hope this explanation helped you to understand when to kickstart threat hunting. In cyber world, it is no different. We will do threat hunting when we identify the system is compromised and want to scope the finding in what other areas threat exists. That's A. We suspect something is not working well, some sort of malicious activity like processes connecting to remote public IPs. That's B. And lastly, we do it on periodic basis to make sure no anomaly exists in the system or the network. That's C. Let us take an example case study. In one of the company called Example Company, multiple users reported that they are unable to log into their server. due to incorrect password. Several tickets were created to reset passwords. After few rounds of troubleshooting, IT staff from example company noticed unusual behavior on that particular server. IT staff confidently confirmed that they have successfully eradicated the threat. But few users still reported their passwords getting reset. Alright, something malicious still exists in the system or network. Okay, it seems like example company IT staff missed to look for persistence checks. Let's hunt for persistence. Before I tell you what is persistence, let me take you through a simple example on identifying persistence. Here you can see a short Giphy image. There are two cats. The cat which is on the top trying to push the other cat into the well. Okay, let me name them in this way. The cat which is on the top is the IT staff member, and the cat in the well is a hacker. Every time the IT staff clears the threat resurfaces the well. How is this possible? Okay, this is possible because the threat is making use of something called persistence. In this case, it is ladder. If this ladder is removed, then it is possible to put the hacker cat into the well. Okay, I hope you understood the meaning of persistence with this example. Okay, what MITRE say about persistence tactic? Okay, they say the adversary is trying to maintain their foothold. So persistence consists of techniques that adversaries use to keep access to the systems across restarts, change credentials and other interruptions that could cut off their access. Techniques used for persistence include access, action or configuration changes that let them maintain their foothold on systems, such as replacing or hijacking legitimate code or adding startup code. So let us see further. From MITRE ATT&CK framework, if I have to classify persistence tactic for Windows, we could find close to 44 different artifacts just for persistence alone. Here we can see different 44 items listed for persistence, out of which we will be focusing on scheduled tasks for this presentation. Right. So let us see further scheduled task technique for malicious purpose. So if we look through the list, there are so many hacker groups or threat groups. For example, APT18, Fin7, Cobalt Strike, Cobalt Group, NotPetya. So most of them have used scheduled task technique for malicious purpose. This is how the task scheduler GUI looks like. The task scheduler enables you to automatically perform routine tasks on a chosen computer. The task scheduler does this by monitoring whatever criteria you choose to initiate the task, which is referred to as triggers, and then executing the task, which is referred to as action, when the criteria is met. But attackers abuses task scheduler to guarantee the persistence and remote code execution. Here I have run threat hunting PowerShell script for scheduled task. This is how the collected data look like. From the column you can see what is the host name, task name, what is the status of the task, whether it is running or disabled. We also see who created the task and what task it runs, and many other information about the scheduled task. After analyzing the collected data, we can figure out that there was a malicious executable scheduled task which is named as Microsoft official updates. The Mimikatz command secured LSA logon passwords, which basically steals authentication information stored in the OS. This tool is used to acquire a user's password and use it for unauthorized login. From this detection, we will initiate proper incident response and follow all the steps mentioned in the IR life cycle. It will also help us to identify and scope what other servers got compromised in the network, so that we can contain and eradicate the threat from the environment. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you understood the concept of threat hunting and MITRE ATT&CK tactic persistence. Let me know your feedback by hitting the like button. Please do share it and subscribe my channel so I can create more videos for you. Happy learning. See you in my next video. Thank you.